Howdy do, Who fans, evening all. Welcome back to the Big Blue Box live stream. This is number 4. We've got a bunch of you already. This is great. This is awesome stuff. Hope you guys are all keeping well and that you're managing to stay safe and healthy and all that stuff. And you're not getting bogged down too much by this old corona rubbish. And that you're also taking good steps as well to stay healthy and all that jazz. So not going out when you know all that stuff. You know, there's plenty of Doctor Who stuff to be doing instead of going out and catching stuff. So yeah, hope you're all good. Yeah, live stream number 4. So week number 5 though, we missed week before last because we had stuff to do. Is this number 4? Yes, it's number 4. Yeah. Number 4. Yeah, so the Who chat topic for this week is going to be getting through the dark times with Doctor Who. So especially in this period of weirdness that we're going through at the minute with the old self-isolation and families isolating and not being able to go out and do much and all that jazz. It's good to try and pick up on some Who stuff that we can all do together, or separately, or whatever. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you to go and to do stuff with people. Whatever floats your boat for Doctor Who. But it's an important thing for us as a Who community to be able to go back and do plenty of Who stuff in times like this. It's a bit like any Star Wars fans that are in the chat. And I'll get to you guys in a second, say hellos. Any Star Wars fans that are in the chat will know about the dark times. So once Return of the Jedi had finished and been out, then we had a very long time before we had anything on screens. We had plenty of books and comics, but that was all expanded universe stuff. So we had loads of years and years of no Star Wars coming back. And George Lucas was adamant there wasn't going to be any more films and whatnot. And then out the blue, he decides to announce and do the whole prequel stuff. But in that block of time, we had very little going on. So I'm not saying it's like that for Doctor Who because we've got Series 13 to look forward to, but that's like 2021. So yes, and also, as I said, we're living in a very weird time right now. So. Yeah, let's get Doctor Who to the rescue, basically. So we're going to talk about that, some like a bunch of stuff that you can do in terms of watching Doctor Who, listening and reading, and then we'll do some more Q&A as we normally do towards the end. So this will last probably about an hour and a half, maybe. We'll see how we get on with you guys. But as usual, thank you very much for joining. It's great to have you all here. Love you guys joining these live streams. It's all good. For anyone new, you don't know who I am, or you don't know the podcast or whatever, my name's Gary and I do a weekly podcast with my good friend Mr. Adam. You might know him from YouTube. He does a channel called The Geek's Handbag, but him and I do a weekly Doctor Who show where we waffle plenty of Doctor Who and do reviews, and we round up news and merch and all that stuff. So just go over to the website bigblueboxpodcast.co.uk. You can listen to all of our shows there, and you can link off to all the podcast networks and apps and just find us on whatever app you listen to podcasts on, really. Our new shows, they drop every single Friday. And so we do a weekly show, which is all good. So it'd be lovely to have you over there. And this is kind of a new thing for YouTube as well. We're starting off doing these live streams. We might do a bit more content on YouTube, see how that goes. But for the most part, it's going to be live streaming. I would like to hear back from you guys as well about how you think this is going as well. The live streams working well on YouTube. Before I started doing these, I did a bit of a poll, a bit of a question out on Twitter and Facebook, and the majority of you guys did say YouTube. So we'll keep this going for now. But if you want to see us on, I don't know, Twitch or Facebook or Twitter, Periscope, all that sort of thing, then let me know. Might give that a go. But at the moment, YouTube seems to be working out pretty well. Who have we got in here tonight then? Let's have a look. Bill Butterfield Evening all, Leslie Shergold. Welcome, welcome, Ryan. Welcome, buddy. Jordan, how you doing, dude? Beefy. Bonsoir. Do any of you guys do reviews? Yes. So Jordan Shortman, who's in the chat, he writes for us. Actually, he does plenty of reviews for our website. Dan Peters, howdy do, dude. I'm very well, thank you, buddy. Very well. Leslie Shergold. One thing I'll be doing during my 12 weeks isolation will be rereading The Dying Days. Lance Parkin put a link on his Twitter earlier, free for everyone. Oh, cool. Cool. Let me know what that is, Leslie, and I'll tweet it out as well. Bill Butterfield, no like for the pod. Oh, as in like, do people do reviews for the pod, as in like sending audio clips? Yeah, there's a few people in here, Bill, that do that. Joe Bowers, how's it going, buddy? The Manado, hey Gary, love the podcast. Oh, cheers, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Cheers. Bill Butterfield, something I'm going to do is binge Classic Who, as I just got a BritBox subscription. Yeah, I'm going to come on to that, mate. That's a good idea. Who Addicts, hey Gary, fellow Who fans, hope you're keeping well. Hey Who Addicts, sorry. Hope you guys are all good. Who is this from the Who Addicts? Is this Matt or Liv or both? Either way, hope you guys are doing well. Ad, how you doing, buddy? Great to see you on Sat. Yeah, it was good to see you, albeit a little bit short and sweet. It was good to see you nonetheless. DW, hello. Phantom are doing time-space visualizer, a virtual convention on the 28th. Oh, cool. That looks good. I'll look at that. Let me get the old text notes app up. Make a note of that. Phantom. Event 28. Cool. Cheers, dude. Excuse me. Christmas has come early when Gary wears a beanie. Has it really? Is it that much of an occasion when I wear a beanie? I didn't think it was that much of an occasion, but thank you very much. Jamie Aspinall, every life is a pile of good things and bad things. The good things don't always soften the bad, but vice versa. The bad things don't necessarily spoil the good things or make them unimportant. I think everyone needs the quote. Yeah, that's a good one, dude. That is a good one. Leslie Shergold, how was Talons at the BFI? Talons at the BFI was awesome. Thank you, Leslie. It was a really, really good showing. It didn't quite go to plan. So we were meant to have, so normally at the BFI, for those of you that don't know, they typically do at least one or two panels there. They get people up on stage that were involved in that particular story. It's normally a couple of people that were in it, plus like the producer and director, that kind of thing. And we were meant to have a panel beforehand. I think who was meant to be there? Phil Hinchcliffe and someone else. But they didn't want to show up for obvious reasons. I think, to be honest with you, we really scraped past by the skin of our teeth for that one, because it was right up to the point where a lot of the other cinema chains were starting to close all of their screens. So Odeon and Cineworld, they had said that they were going to shut all of their stuff. Christopher Benjamin, that was it, Beefy, thank you. Yeah, they Cineworld and Odeon were going to close all of their stuff, and the BFR like, nah, we'll risk it for a biscuit and we'll stay open for a bit longer. So I think we just got away with that one. So in that respect, it was great. But in the other sort of side of things, they were meant to do a couple of panels, which they didn't do. But Louise Jameson was still there. She did a Q&A afterwards, plus a little panel with the guys that run the BFI. So that was really nice. And just the showing itself was really cool. Adam and I recorded this week's show earlier today. And we were saying on there that one thing that's really, really cool about, especially watching Classic Who in the cinema, is that the comedy moments and the humor in the script really shines through when you're watching it in a cinema. So when you're watching Classic Who at home, you tend to, especially if you're watching it on your own, you tend to sort of only laugh at the obviously funny moments, which is fair enough. And when you're in the cinema, everybody's laughing at those points, but everyone's always laughing at the not so funny bits as well. So I'm going to turn this lamp down a bit bright. So everyone's also laughing at the like the over the top cheesy low budget stuff as well from Classic Who. So everyone's laughing at all that and chuckling away. So it's a great atmosphere. I say this all the time, but if you can get to a BFI event, then it's absolutely worth doing that. So yeah, it's great. But Leslie, it was a really good day, and Talons is a cracking story as well. So it's a really good one to watch. A really good one to watch at the cinema. Also, the season 12 podcast this week or delayed. Hope all is well with both of you. Yeah, it's coming tomorrow, dude. Adam and I recorded that today, so that's going to be out tomorrow as always. So yeah, Series 12 recap review will be with you guys tomorrow. John Griffiths, evening, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Cattails. Is that Millie? My memory is really bad, so I think that's Millie. Millie Mackenzie, I think. If not, I do apologise, Cattails. Hello, sorry I missed last week, but was at work. I'm working from home now, so we'll be listening in. Probably won't be commenting much. So that's cool, man. Don't worry about missing last week. All good. Not to worry, dude. Dan Peters, I'm reading The Silent Stars Go By. It's the 11th Doctor novel release for the 50th. Oh, yes, yeah. It's really good, worth a read. It has Ice Warriors. Yeah, I've heard of that story. It's meant to be a cracking story. Let us know what that's like, dude. Hi, Gary. Went on a 10-mile walk earlier and listened to some of the new Donna Noble Big Finish box set. It was fab. Oh, okay, yeah, I've got to... that's on the list to listen to, actually. So I will get round to that. I think there's a couple of people... There's a couple of people that are starring in that with Catherine Tate that normally star alongside her in things like the Catherine Tate show and some other sketches and stuff. So it's a bit of a family reunion, I suppose. But no, that's definitely on the list of things to listen to from Big Finish. So I'll give that a go soon. Not watched too much Classic Who, just a few here and there. So I have all the Blu-ray box sets. So in your opinion, which one should I binge watch first? Okay. Not watched much, but you've got all the Blu-ray. So does Dan, does that mean you have the special edition Blu-ray box sets that have been coming out over the last year or so, like in the grey box, like the limited edition stuff? If you're referring to those, then probably the first one to binge watch would probably, you could either do it in kind of release broadcast order, I suppose, which would be the Pertwee box set that was out. I think that was the last one. Or was it the one before the last one? Was the McCoy one the last one out, or the Pertwee one? Can't remember. Whichever one the Pertwee one is. So you could go with that one first, and that will give you, so that's in terms of those Blu-ray box sets, that was the earliest Doctor so far. So Pertwee, the third Doctor, you can go with that one. Or if there's a particular Doctor that you quite like, then just dive into whatever one. So if you like Tom Baker, then give, is it Series 12? Series 12, I can never remember the order of these bloody things. Let me have a quick look. Is it Series 10 Beef that was the earliest one in Tom? No, that's Pertwee, isn't it? Let me have a quick looky. There must be a resource there, a resource online for the order of these things. Let me have a look. Box set releases. Where are you? List of BBC Blu-ray releases. Here we go, guys. Strap in. We're diving in. This is not the one that I want. This is not the one that I want. Or is it? I will find it in a second. Let's have a look. Maybe the old merch site will do it. Anyway, I'll come back to that. But yes, in answer to your question, go with the release broadcast order, which would be the Pertwee set, or Tom Baker's first one that they put out there. Let's look. Fuel DVD. I'm going to find this now because it's winding me up. I'm sure these guys did like a checklist of stuff. So the Doctor Who site, in their merchandise section, I'm sure they did like a big checklist of stuff that you could go through and check off. Do they not do that anymore? Potentially not. It was under all Blu-rays and DVDs. Okay, no worries. No worries, no worries. I will find it on here. Yeah, so season 10, which is the Pertwee one, that's the first one, obviously, in broadcast order. It wasn't season 18. It wasn't one before that. It would have been season 19. The one before that. Come on, come on. The one before that would have been, I think. Bear with. Bear with. It would have been Tom Baker's first one, which was series or season 18, I think. Yeah, because 14's due out soon, so 18, yeah. So go with 18. Season 18 will be a good one as well. So either season 10, Pertwee, or season 18. That took a long time, but there we go. So go with those two first. Or flip a coin. Just put two out there, heads and tails, and then go for it. It was great to see the fellow fans at Talons, a good sense of community. Yeah, there's always a great community around Classic Who and the whole BFI thing. It's very cool. Has everyone got their copies of the Faceless one still, but still waiting on for Amazon to send mine? Yeah, Amazon they're just really feeling it at the minute. Those guys are not in a good place. I don't know if it's because they've got loads of staff off or they're just inundated with stuff because everyone's at home and they're ordering things. Probably a bit of both. But yeah, hang in there, guys. It's yeah, Amazon they're just crapped out at the minute. The new effects in Talons blend really well with the episodes. They don't look bolted on. Yeah, I agree, Beefy. Yeah, we spoke about this earlier today. The visual effects, they look very, very good, especially the hypnosis effect. It used to be this like pulsing white light, which is okay, but now they've got these green circles and stuff. They look very, very cool. And then some of the landscaping they did around London and stuff, it all looks really cool. I still miss the very cheesy, cheap budgeted rats in the sewers, but this new one's not too bad, I suppose. Not too bad. Looking forward to it, bud. All my respect to you both for keeping us all entertained. Oh, cheers, Ed. Cheers very much. Yeah, so that brings me on to a good point, actually. I feel like any of you guys in the chat that are content creators, YouTubers, podcasters, whatever, I feel like it's really important for us to carry on putting content out, especially at the moment, because at the end of the day, we all need something, right? We all need, some sense of community and something going on, because at the end of the day, a lot of us are going to be indoors and at home working away for the foreseeable future. So in terms of podcasters, and I've spoken to a few other Doctor Who podcasters over the last week, and we've all said the same thing, it's more than ever. Even now Doctor Who has finished on TV, we've still got to keep up the schedule and stuff and try and provide like a content landscape for everybody just to keep cracking on and getting into Doctor Who, because otherwise, I've seen it happen, not just with Doctor Who, but with some other shows, when the show is not on TV or the popularity dips a little bit, podcasts just switch off and they don't come back again until the show is back on TV, whatever. So I'm like the opposite opinion to that. So we really got to keep everything going. And I know that the Who Addicts, these guys are in the chat or watching the stream. You guys are still putting out videos, which is great. And some whoever is in the chat and you're doing podcasts, or not just about Doctor Who, but YouTube videos or podcasts, whatever it might be, it's really important that we keep that going, because there's only so much terrestrial TV and Netflix you can watch, really. So and I've seen plenty of articles on it over the past couple of weeks where the amount of people now discovering podcasts and getting into podcasts has jumped up, as you would expect, quite a lot, because people just want something to take their mind off things, or they want something to do while they're working. So podcast is perfect for that. Perfect for that. And obviously YouTube and all that stuff is great just to chill out and watch something other than the news or Country File or whatever it might be. So yes, you're very welcome, Ad. And we'll continue. Adam and I will continue to do that. We've already got our schedule planned out for the rest of the year. So right up until the end of the year, we've got all of our rotation, all of our stories done, and what we're going to review and stuff. So yeah, we're all good. Plus these live streams and whatever else we're going to do. So we also spoke earlier about doing some extra stuff as well over the next few months. So we're going to try and get the commentaries back on track. Yeah, we're going to do those, and we're also going to try and do a bit more in terms of just extra stuff on the podcast, really. So yeah, just keep your ears and eyes peeled for that stuff. We'll update you on that as we sort of flesh those ideas out and get them rocking and rolling. So yeah, it's going to be good. Who else we got? Yes, it's Millie. Yeah, I thought so. I thought that was you, Millie Cattails. Who else we got? Was there a new giant rat in Talons? Yes, there was, Leslie. That's what I said. Yeah, so they replaced the big stuffed toy. But that's like the charm of Classic Who, right? I mean, that's something that is a thing, right? So when you're watching Classic Who, it's just something that's great and just beautiful about it, is that sort of low budget cheapness. So yes, Leslie, they replaced that with a new CGI rat. But to be fair, it does look pretty good. They haven't done a George Lucas where they've taken like a very old thing and they've made brand new visual effects and it just looks disjointed and out of place. It does blend in quite nicely, so it's not too bad. I do miss and prefer the old rat, but it's done pretty well. It's not too bad. I've not had my steelbook either. Rumours are the warehouses have closed due to the virus, but their communication has been terrible. Yeah, that's somebody said that as well the other day. Where it wouldn't be so bad is if they just communicated to everybody what the situation was. So instead of just leaving everybody hanging and just, I'm not saying that you're sat cross-legged in front of the door, drumming on your legs, waiting for the postman, but it would be nice if you've got some kind of communication, which they haven't done, which sucks. But yeah, it's probably a combination of those things. They're closing certain parts. I know they haven't closed the entire warehouse, but they're closing certain parts of it. And there's probably a bunch of people that are off sick with these symptoms and stuff. So just a bit sucky. I'll read you. Season 10 you could watch without being bogged down by backstory. Yeah, that's a good one, Beef. Yeah. The season 10 Pertwee set is fairly light with that stuff. It doesn't really drift into plenty of expositional stuff around Doctor Who and earlier Doctor Who. Yeah, you can go with that one. Who asked that question earlier? Was it Bill? Was it Dan? Who asked that question? Who went for the 10-mile walk? Who was that? Who was that? Craig. Sorry, Craig Matthew. Was it Craig? No, it wasn't Craig. It was not Craig. Dan Hickey. There we go. So yeah, Dan. I think it's like a unanimous thing. Go with season 10. If you own all of them and you haven't watched them yet, then go with season 10, dude. Beef, what's this, dude? 10, 12, 14, 19, 23, 26. Oh, this is the order of the box. Oh, I see, right. 10, 12, 14, 19, 23, 26. We had 6 box sets out then. Yeah, we haven't we? Yeah, yeah. There we go, Dan. Have a look at Beef's list order there. Not too bad. Alex Kingdom, cheeky little bugger. Evening, buddy. Beef, you missed 18. Yeah, you missed 18, buddy. Living up in the northeast, it's derelict in some parts, so walking is one good thing I can do with the social distancing measures in place. Shall start the David Bradley box set on my walk tomorrow. Yeah, it's a good shout, man. That's really good. The David Bradley box set. Very, very cool indeed. Yeah, do that, man. And I get you as well about just being able to go for a walk. It's one of the best things you can do as well. If you're going to be cooped up inside all day, the last thing you want is like cabin fever and fever. I can't speak properly tonight. The last thing you want is cabin fever and just going stir crazy. So absolutely, man, every day at least get out for a 15 half an hour minute. Oh, crikey Moses. At least get out for a 15 or 30 minute walk. Just clear your head a little bit, get some fresh air. Have you got any Doctor Who book recommendations? Dan Peters. Yeah, I do, dude. I do indeed. There's 2 or 3 books that I always recommend to people if they when they ask that very question. So the first one is a book called The Writer's Tale. Just knocked all my books over. Awesome. So The Writer's Tale. I don't know if this is going to be reversed, if my webcam is going to make this appear backwards to you, but here we go. The Writer's Tale, the final chapter, and this is the they call it the definitive version, or the definitive story, and it's been updated with like over 300 pages of extra stuff. This is such a great book. I can't tell you how great this book is. It's essentially it's not a story, it's not a novel. It's essentially the making of the closing chapter of Russell T Davies's era on Doctor Who, and the way it's set out. There's a guy called Benjamin Cook, who you might have heard his name knocked around with certain Doctor Who novels and stuff. Essentially, the book is written as a conversation. It's just emails between Russell T Davies and Benjamin Cook. So Benjamin is interviewing Russell basically, as over the course of a year, 2 years, whatever, over email. And this is a collection of those things, and it's just the insight into Russell T Davies's brain and his mind as he was writing the last couple of series of Doctor Who. This is a fantastic book. I haven't read it in a couple of years, but it's really, really good. That's the first one if you haven't got that one. I'm going to try not to wreck the place. That'd be good. And then there's also, where are we? The Lethbridge Stewart range of books from Candy Jar Books. They're really good. There's quite a few of them now, but you can pick up the first few fairly cheap. So the first 2 of those are really good. And also, hold on, the Target book. Sorry, the big Target book. It's a really good journey down memory lane. Basically, if you're a fan of the old Target books, then that's really, really good. So crack on with that one. And also, sorry if I keep turning around, but I have to refresh my memory. Actually, a shout out to Neil Perryman. Adventures with the Wife in Space. That's a really good book. I'm not going to get that one out because I can't get my figures to stand back up once I move them. But An Adventure with the Wife in Space is essentially the concept of Neil is making his wife watch all of Doctor Who or Classic Who from An Unearthly Child through to the TV movie. And it's basically it's like a diary, if you like. It's a diary of him and his wife, Sue. He's making, so she's not a fan of, she wasn't a fan of sci-fi or anything like that. And Neil, who is obviously he's a lifelong Doctor Who fan, he basically said, I want you to watch Doctor Who. And for a few years, apparently, she said, no, I don't want to watch it. It looks rubbish. And then she finally gave in and she started watching it. And just for the crack, he said, I'm going to like blog about it. So it started off as a blog and then he turned it into a full-blown book. So that's very, very cool. So that's like, that comments on like loads of stories from each Doctor. And yeah, I think they've done a few books now. So I think they did a Blake 7 one. They did something else. They've done another couple of follow-up Doctor Who ones. But that's a really good book as well. And just as a shameless plug, Neil Perryman was a guest on my podcast on episode 1. So the very, very, very first Big Blue Box podcast back in March 2014 had Neil on the show and I interviewed him. It was a really good show. So yeah, those books are all good. So if you can pick up those few books, and don't get me wrong, there's a ton of really good books. And some of the old Target ones are really good as well. But if you can pick up those ones, especially The Writer's Tale, it's a fantastic book. So yeah, there's some ideas for you, dude. Make sure to clean the packaging just in case. Yep. Anything you get through the post, once you've opened the packaging and stuff, give it a wipe and then wash your hands. The Witch Hunters and The Scales of Injustice are 2 great novels. Oh, nice one, Joe. Has anybody got any recommendations for shops to get Who stuff in northwest England? Used to be a cracking little place in Blackpool near the Pleasure Beach. I don't personally, John, I'm afraid. But if anyone in chat knows anything, then let John know. Wish I'd got the Blu-rays. We'll have to wait for the eventual re-releases in 10 years' time. To watch Who. Welcome aboard to the stream. And everybody else, if I've not mentioned your name, welcome aboard. Yeah, those Blu-rays, they will get re-released at some point, hopefully. They've already done the Tom Baker, the first one. What season was that? That was this season 18. They've already done that one. So, yeah, so we'll, fingers crossed. We'll get around to that. How are you guys doing? I'm as good as possible with the circumstances and my disability, but I'm okay. Happy to watch a stream. Oh, nice one, Alex. Hope you're doing okay, buddy. Your review that you sent in for this week's show was really funny. Yeah, with your review noises and stuff. So yeah, so thanks a lot for that, buddy. But yes, we're doing okay. Thank you. We're all doing good. The Sands of Time is a great 5th Doctor book too. Oh yes, I think Adam's got that. I think, but yeah, it's another good one. Would love a Moffat version of Writer's Tale. Yes, Super Salmon. That would be very insightful because there's obviously quite a bit of I wouldn't say controversy, but there's quite a bit of chatter all the time around some of the things that Moffat did towards the end of his era and stuff. So that'd be good. On all accounts, Tom Baker has a follow-up autobiography coming out soon as well. Does he? Does he, Beefy? I didn't know that. That'd be quite cool. That'd be quite cool. I said to my friend that the virus will force us into creating new ideas and ways of living, which some may be beneficial for us to use in the future. That's absolutely right, dude. And a subject that's quite similar to that is this whole subject of remote working and working from home. So with the job that I do, I work from home, from my home office anyway. But it's been really interesting to see and speak to a lot of my colleagues and friends who commute to an office every day and don't work remotely. It's been really interesting speaking to those guys over the past few weeks, and some of the things that they've had to do, so video meetings and various sort of chat communication apps and all that stuff, they've actually really enjoyed it, and they've actually, they see a real benefit to kind of spreading their work out between going to an office and working from home. So it's really interesting. I think there's going to be loads of people that see some of the benefits from working at home. I certainly do. I love it. I love working from home. Working from my office here is really cool. Wife in Space is great. If you can find the podcast they used to do. Yes, yeah. So Neil did loads of video content years ago. I can't remember the name of his video thing or his network. I think it was Tachyon Productions or something like that. But yeah, they did their own podcast for it as well. It was hilarious. Those guys are so funny. If Galaxy 4 was still open, then this... Yeah, I'm not sure if is Galaxy 4 shut now. I think that's up in the Northwest. Millennial Rights with the Sixth Doctor and Mel is a great book, and check out Downtime, Fear of the Dalek, Festival of Death. Yes, I can't say anything for Millennial Rights, but certainly Downtime and Festival of Death, I've read those. They're very good. But I've not read Fear of the Dark. I'm not sure what that's like, but there you go. Plenty of book recommendations. Is all good. First time I've ever worked at home now. Okay. Yeah, I hope you're getting on all right with that supper summer. I think I said super summer before. Supper summer. I'm a web designer like yourself, and we're still working in our office. However, more and more people are having to self-isolate, so we're heading that way. I'd love to work from home. It would be perfect. I'm assuming that's Matt from the Who Addicts. Yes, dude. It's great working from home, as long as it comes with some caveats, though. Obviously, I know of some people that have tried it and have just failed miserably because they either can't sort of have that, they haven't got that self-discipline to be at their desk or wherever they work for a decent chunk of time without being distracted. So there's a few people that I know that are big, and this might be a problem for you, mate, because I know you're a big gamer as well, but some of the people I know have been sort of big gamers, and they've sat at their desk, and just the temptation of going downstairs and sticking the Xbox or the PlayStation on, or if they've got a gaming PC which doubles as their work PC, that's dangerous as well. Then just other things as well, like some people have got other halves at home as well. Some people have got kids. It's all, you have to be, to successfully work from home, you have to be sort of self-driven and self-motivated and disciplined to do that. So if you can do those things, then it's great. It gives you a much better balance of like personal life and versus so it's just really cool. It's for me personally, so like I said, it doesn't work for everybody, and there's a couple of people that I work with that hate working from home. There's a company that I work for, there's a couple of people that absolutely have to go into the office. They hate working from home. So it doesn't work for everybody, but if you can make it work and you can crack on, then yeah, it's all good. And the other thing as well is that the company you work for, they have to sort of embed an element of trust as well. Because I know people that have tried to work from home, but their managers or their senior management at the company, there's just no trust there. They're like, how do I know you're working? How do I know you're doing what you're supposed to be doing? All that lot. So there's a bit of a two-way, thing going on. You have to have sort of the right elements in place, but for the most part, it can be cool. Yeah. Touched by an Angel is an amazing 11th Doctor book. Oh, okay. Yeah, nice one, dude. Keep these recommendations coming, guys, as well. Keep anything that you can recommend for people, because that's, I'm going to come on to that now, actually. So the subject of this stream is getting through the dark times with Doctor Who. So what you guys are going to be watching, listening and reading. So when we recorded the podcast earlier today, we had like a few minutes chat about the coronavirus and people being isolated and that sort of thing. And one of the things that we did say actually is now is one of the best times to try and dive into an area, an element of Doctor Who that you might not have been too fussed about previously, or you're not really into. And one of the big things, obviously, is classic Doctor Who. So the BritBox app, and I wrote a review for BritBox, and it's on our website, actually. If you go to our website, Big Blue Box Podcast.co.uk, and just do a search for BritBox, you'll see it on there. I'm sure they do a free trial for a month. So if you're isolating for the next month or whatever, then BritBox is awesome because they give you a month up front for free anyway. And and it's got all of classic Doctor Who on there. So if you're one of these people that either A, have not ventured into classic Who very much, or you've just not been fussed, now's a great time to do that because it's all there for free for a month. So maybe kind of force yourself to dive into that and just see how you get on. Or if there's just a bunch of Doctor Who from the classic years that you've just not seen yet. So if you've got like a bunch of the classic DVDs and stuff, but you've got gaps, you've got like a load of stories that you've just not picked up yet and not watched, that's another excuse to do it within that month, and you're self-isolating. That could be a good way to go through each Doctor and like watch all of those stories that you've not cracked into. And on BritBox, they've also got all of the sort of animated missing stories as well, the Macra Terror and Shada, all that lot, and they've got a few documentaries as well. So that's one of the good things about having a service like that available, is even if you don't want to pay for it, at least sign up and get a month's worth of classic Doctor Who, everything available to you, which is good. And then the other thing to do in terms of not just classic Who but new Doctor Who is to kick off another big sort of epic rewatch. So you could either do, it will take forever, obviously, well, not forever, it'll take a long time to do a whole classic Doctor Who one, but you could certainly do a modern Doctor Who one over the next 2 months quite easily. So you could go from Eccleston all the way through to Jodie and stuff. So if you don't own the DVDs or the Blu-rays for that, everything's on Netflix. I think actually no, Jodie's stuff is not on Netflix, I don't think, but certainly everything else is. So you could do that as well, or you could do Doctor Roulette, where you just sort of throw all the Doctor's names into a hat, or a virtual hat, whatever you want to do, and then just pick one out, and then you have to pick a story from that Doctor. There's loads of things that you can do in terms of watching Doctor Who. If you've got Amazon Prime, a lot of the real-time videos are on there for free. Yeah, that's a good point, Beef. So real-time pictures, they put out a lot of these really cool Doctor Who documentaries from, they're like an hour to 2 hours long. Lots of really good archive footage for interviews with various Doctors and behind the scenes, all that stuff. So that's really good. I didn't realise they were on Amazon Prime, Beef. That's all good. And Torchwood has just been added to iPlayer as well. That's another good one. Yep, so recently I'm hoping they're going to put Sarah Jane back on iPlayer as well. So that would be awesome. But yeah, certainly Torchwood is on Netflix. So that's all good. Leslie Shergold, Alien Bodies, Father Time, Interference Books 1 and 2, and The Ancestor Cell. All cracking reads. There you go, guys. Just if you guys want book recommendations and stuff, just have a scroll through the chat. Loads of really cool recommendations coming through. Thanks, guys. The Good Doctor 13th first BBC book is a good read. Okay. Oh yeah, The Good Doctor, yeah, is good actually. Yeah. I can see why motivation at home with a TV sat there would be a problem. And yes, my PS4 would be a distraction. I'd miss the guys in the office too. So a mix between the two would be ideal. Yeah, that's a good point, Matt. You've got to be so careful. In fact, a guy that I used to work with years ago, when one of the companies that I used to work with prior to where I am now, they some of the guys on the team did like a mixture of being in a remote role versus being in the office. So it wasn't a completely distributed team, but some days it was remote. So I think they had to be in the office Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and they were remote Monday and Friday, something like that. And it got to a point where he literally had to unplug his console. I think he had an Xbox 360. He had to unplug it and put it all up in the loft, because on those days, on Monday and Friday, he was literally just sat there in his pants, You know, he properly settled him, and he didn't hide it either. I mean, he didn't outright come in and brag about it, but you know, certainly amongst us lot, he just got really comfy on those days. So we got loads of snacks in, got a few beers in, sat there in his pants, and just literally played Xbox all day. So if you're like that, then absolutely working from home is not for you, unless you can really. And that, yeah, like I said, he got to a point where he was getting his ass kicked so much, and he knew as well. He knew exactly what the problem was. So I think one day he just got to the point where it's like, if I don't fix this, I'm going to lose my job. So he unplugged it all and put it all up in the loft and forgot about it. So yeah, I see what you're saying, Matt. Especially for someone like you, I know you're a huge gamer. So yeah, I mean, I'm a big gamer, but you know, I've got to that point where I can discipline myself to not, you know, it's not a distraction basically. So you've really got to sort of teach yourself to have that strength basically. Thanks to the book recommendations, everyone. Some of mine are Touched by an Angel, Prison with the Daleks, and the Rose Target novel. I think I've got Rose. Yes, I do. I've got that Target book. That's really good. I think that's written by Russell T Davies. I think, yeah, it's a good one. If we need to self-isolate, we're hoping to bring our retro review live streams and reviews back. That'd be cool. And we're hoping to do them every few days to keep us occupied, and all you guys too. Yeah, that'd be cool, dude. Yeah, if you've got to self-isolate and all that, then yeah, do it, man. Do it. Dan Hickey, got my first big finish recently, the lives of Captain Jack, Volume 1 and 2. Any recommendations on what to try next? You're right, so this brings us on to our second topic, which is listening to Doctor Who. Now, there's obviously two ways to listen to Doctor Who. Actually, there's three, if you think about it. But the first one is the obvious one, which is the huge library of stuff over at Big Finish. Those guys really have provided just an insane amount of Doctor Who stuff over the last, I don't know, 10, 12 years? I don't know how long they've been going. But in terms of recommendations for Big Finish, it depends. It's a bit like the TV stuff. It depends on what kind of era you like, what Doctor you like, or if you're looking for just literally anything, then yeah, some good ones. So a few that I always direct people to would be The Chimes of Midnight, which is a 8th Doctor story, which is a really creepy, really good listen. The Dark Eyes box set, again, the 8th Doctor. A story called Spare Parts, which is a Davison story, which is great. A story called Davros, which is a 6th Doctor story, which is really, really good. A story called The Silver Turk, which is another Cyberman story, which is really, really good. A few of the Tom Baker box sets from the earlier days are really, really good. To be honest with you, there's just so many that my brain freezes whenever I try and reel them off. But if you guys are looking for Big Finish recommendations, there's a really good website called thetimescales.com. I think that's it. Let me just confirm that with you guys before I give you false info. Yes, thetimescales.com. If you head over to that website, it's essentially they rate and review every single Big Finish story that's been out. So they've got nearly over 800 members on the website. They've got over 400 reviews and over 400 reviewers, and they've got over 12,000 reviews. And what they do is they rate all of the recent stuff that's just been out as well. So for the last sort of 10 stories, they rate that. They've got a bunch of Big Finish stuff embedded in the website from SoundCloud, so you can listen to it as well as looking around the site. And also across the top of the website, they've got little thumbnails of each doctor, so you can click on that, and then you can go into all of their reviews for it. So you can filter by rating as well, which is the default. So it starts off at the top with all their 10 out of 10 stories, and then it goes down and down and down through the ratings and stuff. So if you guys are looking for Big Finish recommendations, that's a really good website. So head over to the timescales.com. You'll be able to pick out a load of cool stuff there. I'm in retail and it's been hell. Yeah, I used to work in retail years ago. Yeah, it sucks, man. I've started watching the real-time stuff on Prime and it's great. Offers some great insights into the stars of the show. The William Hartnell episode was really interesting. Yes, Jordan. Yeah, and that's really cool. I didn't realise they were on Prime. That's really cool. In Ireland, nearly all retail has been closed till further notice, apart from groceries and pharmacies. Yeah, I think it's going to go that way here, Dan, if I'm being honest, mate. Yeah, I think we're going to have a bit of a lockdown pretty soon. I'm going to have a night in with my friends on Skype, having a few drinks and watch some Doctor Who. Craig, that sounds like a cracking idea, buddy. That sounds like a really good idea. I'm up for that. Ryan, I work in a hospital. I'm working under a lot of stress. Oh, Jesus, Ryan. Jesus, Ryan. Well, yeah, big respect for you for that, buddy. Yeah, you must be going through lots of crap at the minute. So, yeah, a big bro hug and respect to you, Ryan, for that, mate. Yeah, at the moment, anyone that's working, you know, anything to do with the NHS, doctors and nurses, all that stuff, yeah, it's not going to be pretty for you guys. So, yeah, I tip my hat to you for that, buddy. Big respect for that. Oh yeah, you got some other people saying the same thing, dude. Yeah, nice one, Ryan. Just keep it up, dude. Yeah, much appreciated. All your hard work for that, mate. Keep up the amazing work, mate. We'll buy you a pint when the world reopens. Yeah, that's absolutely true. We'll all buy you a drink when we next meet up with you at the next event. Thomas Shaw, are you a doctor? Oh, that's your question to Ryan. Oh, okay. I'm not sure. No, I don't think Ryan's a doctor. Are you, Ryan? Or are you the doctor? Loads of free stories on Spotify. Yeah, if they want to try something, try story. Yeah, it's another good thing as well. So Big Finish, you can find a lot of their catalogue on Spotify and SoundCloud. So you won't find a lot of the newer releases, but from a certain time and then prior to that, you'll find loads of their stuff on there. I'll be watching the second Doctor episode, Tomb of the Cybermen. Patrick, what a belter. What a belter of a story. Tomb of the Cybermen, that's awesome. One thing non-Who related I was looking forward to was the F1. Hope we can get some races in eventually. Yeah, I was gutted when they cancelled Melbourne. I think, I think they're just playing it by ear, which is, I could be wrong, but I don't think they've come out and said, like, the season's cancelled or this many races are cancelled. I think they're just trying to play it by ear, depending on what country they're going to. So, yeah, but that does suck big time. Ryan's not a doctor. Wish I was the doctor, don't we all, mate? Well, according to canon, we could all be the doctor. We could all be pre-Hartnell crossing over each other's time streams. I'm going to open up a can of worms there. But yeah, I didn't think you were a doctor. I think you told me that, yeah. Thomas Shaw, still a hero. Yes, of course. Still a hero, Ryan. You're getting plenty of virtual bro hugs and fist pumps, mate, in the chat tonight. It's really cool. Talking of you guys in the chat, thank you very much, everybody, for being here. We're gonna carry on chatting for a little while longer about stuff that you can do, and through the dark times, through the isolation, through the coronavirus stuff. So we've already covered a bunch of Doctor Who stuff that you can watch. We're now covering some stuff that you can listen, and we've already done a bunch of books and stuff. So let's just keep those recommendations going. It's all good. But thank you so much, everybody, for jumping on the live stream. As always, much appreciated to see you here. For those of you that don't know, I'm Gary. I'm from the Big Blue Box podcast. We do a weekly show. Me and my good friend Adam, we do a weekly podcast that lands every Friday. Just head over to the Big Blue Box podcast.co.uk. You can find all of the deets on there. It's just awesome to have you all here. Very, very cool hanging out with you guys and chatting Doctor Who. Some of my fave Big Finish audios are Spare Parts. Yep. Ish, Night Thoughts, Circular Time, Son of the Dragon, The Mind's Eye, and the Peterloo Massacre. Yeah, so I haven't listened to a few of those. I've listened to the Peterloo Massacre. That's not a bad one. And Circular Time. The others, yeah, give us a rundown, Jordan. Let us know what the deets are for those. The only races that are cancelled is Melbourne and Monaco. Everything else is just postponed. Oh, okay, yeah, I thought so. Yep. Don't joke about the Timeless Child, Gary. Oh, you're not a fan, are you, mate? Yeah, so the Who Addicts guys is definitely not feeling the whole Timeless Children thing. It's yeah, that's a whole thing to potentially talk about at some point, if you get my meaning. Yeah, I probably don't want to go into too much detail in that subject tonight. Otherwise, this is going to be like a 9-hour live stream. But yes, I've seen obviously I've watched your reviews, guys, and yeah, not feeling it at all, are you? Oh, one more recommendation while I think of it. After watching Talons of Weng-Chiang at the weekend, it reminded me just how bloody brilliant Jago and Lightfoot are. So I know that their box sets, I think they've done 3 or 4 volumes from Big Finish. Now I know that they're not revered as like the best of the best from Big Finish, but those two characters are they're so good together. They're really, really funny and good. So I've got the first Jago and Lightfoot box set, but I've not listened to it. I know it's a sacrilege. I know I've really got to get into it. I've listened to one of their stories. It was Jago and Lightfoot with Strax, and it was like a haunted house kind of story. That wasn't too bad. That was okay. But yeah, so you need to listen to Jago and Lightfoot. I'm going to do that this weekend. Actually, I've got a bunch of chores and errands to do and stuff around the house, so I'm going to get that on at the weekend. But I tell you, man, Jago and Lightfoot, they're so good. So if you guys can get access to that, I think it's relatively. Do they still discount some of the older stuff on Big Finish? Because I know that Big Finish, they do have a habit of not knocking down prices for ages, and then all of a sudden you'll see it in a sale somewhere. Crikey, they've done 7, 8. Wow, they've done 7. They've done 9. They've done 9 seasons. 10. Hold on. They've done 11 seasons. Hold on. Whoa. Let's just have a look. Let's just have a look, please. Just a minute. They've done 13 seasons. Right, so series 1, Jago and Lightfoot, is 18 quid at the moment. And all the other ones, it looks like after that, are 30 quid. So, you know, it's worth keeping your eye out on a sale, because they do. I have seen these in sale. I've seen these go down to $14.99. So Just keep an eye out. But they've done 13 seasons. That's incredible. That's incredible. Yeah, so I'm going to be picking these up as soon as they land in sale. I'm going to be picking these up, and I've got season 1. Damn it, I've got series 1 to listen to. So, but if you guys don't know, Jago and Lightfoot are 2 characters from the Tom Baker story, The Talons of Weng-Chiang, and they are such a good double act. Individually, really good characters, really, really good. But together, they're so funny and so good. So there's another recommendation. Check out Jago and Lightfoot. Our local library does something called Borrow Box. Have I dropped some frames here? I think I have. You guys let me know if the stream's dropped out, because on my end it's saying that I have. So apologies if it's dropped out or not. Yeah, our local library does something called Borrow Box. It's online and you can loan some audiobooks. Might see if they do any big fit. Oh, that's a good idea. I've not heard of that before. That's a really good idea. Not heard of that. I'm a big football fan and haven't missed a game following my team home and away for over 2 years. Shame all sport is suspended indefinitely. I miss it. Oh, that must be crap. Yeah. If you're a sporting fan and you've been going that regularly. Yeah, that sucks, man. Did you see the Big Finish news about Return of the Cybermen with Tom Baker? I did. I saw. We got a preview of that press release last week, and I saw the email today. It looks, yeah, it looks very, very cool. The Holy Terror, Jubilee, The Stones of Venice, The One Doctor. The One Doctor's pretty good. Nice one, Leslie. Yeah, I've only listened to Chimes of Midnight. I'd love to get into more, but there's just too many. Yeah, well, to be fair, Millie, the one that you have listened to is an absolute belter, so that's all good. But yeah, I totally get it, and that's a common thing as well. That's a real common thing that a lot of people say, is that they put out so much content, it's difficult to know where to start and stuff. But if you head over to that website that I mentioned, thetimescales.com, you'll find a bunch of stories that are rated really highly that you can probably pick out. I love the War Master box sets and 7 Ace and Hex arc from Big Finish. Oh yeah, that's cool. The Seventh Doctor stuff. One of the things that, if any of you guys have not listened to Big Finish, one of the other common things that always gets brought up, and is so true, is that the classic Doctors, especially, believe it or not, Colin Baker, but all of the classic Doctors are so good on Big Finish, like insanely good. Even Colin Baker, the 6th Doctor. I know a lot of people don't often refer to him as he's not one of the more popular classic Doctors, which is a shame, but even Colin Baker's just fantastic. Like, they're all really good. But they're all great, but McGann especially. Freaking awesome. McGann is brilliant. Big Finish. I'd love to sit down and have a beer with you, Gary, and discuss The Timeless Child as we gradually get more and more drunk and argumentative. What a video that would be. Well, dude, let's do a live stream. Let's do a live stream, the two of us, and we'll thrash out our thoughts and feelings on The Timeless Child. Let's make that happen, dude. You can come on. Let's see what's happening on either next week or the week after. You can come on this live stream, and we'll thrash it out. That'd be good. I'd pay for that video. Love Jago and Lightfoot. We're in the 6th Doctor story, Last Adventure. Okay. Series 5 of JNL is my fave. Some of the Jago stuff is on Spotify. Yes, it is. That's a good point. Beefy. Maybe the worlds of Doctor Who, as it gives you a sampler of a few different ranges that you can see how it fit. Yeah, that's a good one, mate. Yeah, that's a good shout. The worlds of Doctor Who. Yep. Jago and Lightfoot Forever was a great way of wrapping up the series, but made me so sad. Yeah, that was their closing last one, wasn't it? Yeah. Supper Salmon, the stream did drop out for a few seconds. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened there. Apologies. Probably just blame YouTube. Nothing to do with me. Just blame YouTube. But yeah, I noticed that on my streaming software, I've got some drop frames. There's only 12 drop frames, but yeah, apologies for that. There's the Jago and Lightfoot short trip too. Oh yeah, there is. Yeah, there's a taster. That'd be good. Spare parts, the Apocalypse Element, Dust Breeding, and Minuet in Hell are all great early Big Finish stories. Yes, the spare parts, I mentioned that earlier. That's a great one. The other ones I've not listened to, but feel free, guys, go and hunt them down. A lot of the early stuff, like we've mentioned, is either on Spotify or SoundCloud. So if you've got a Spotify subscription, go and check that out. I'll be catching up on all the big finishes I've not got round to listening to in a while, hopefully working from home. PS, sorry I'm late to the live stream. Don't worry, Helen. Glad to have you on board. As everybody, yeah, glad to have you on board tonight. It's all good. I'm going to be wrapping this stream up in about 20 minutes, half an hour. So we've still got some chit-chat to get through. Really enjoyed the Sixth Doctor regeneration set from Big Finish. Yes, that was cool. I really enjoyed that. I didn't pick it up at first. That one passed me by for about 6 months or so, and then I got hold of it, and yeah, it was really, really good. It was a proper. It was nice that they gave old Sixie a proper regen, so that was cool. Any audio with Dr. Six and Evelyn continues to be the jewel in Big Finish's crown. Maggie was great and much missed. Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that too much, Leslie. Like I said, Colin Baker's really good on Big Finish, so yes. Been listening to the Fifth Doctor, Perry and Erimem stories whilst on the way to work. An average run of stories, but still very good. Yeah, well, to be fair, Davison's really good on Big Finish. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with Big Finish. It's similar to the TV show to a degree, in that, you know, there's a bunch of stories that are fantastic, and then there's a bunch of stories that, while they're not might be quite as amazing, you know, a lot of them are still good. Every Big Finish story is good, basically. None of them are like, oh my. I don't think there are any Big Finish stories that once you've finished listening to it, you think, wow, I'm never listening to that again, or that was like really terrible. So yeah, they're all good, but some of them are just more amazing than others. Sounds awesome, dude. Yeah, Matt, let's do it, man. Let's make it happen. Let's do that. Also, Gary, if you need any sound effects, you know I'm your man after this week's review. Yes, Alex. Yeah, if we need any sound effects, dude, we'll those of you that don't know, Alex sent in his review for Series 12 for the podcast this week, and let's just say his review is unique. So yeah, make sure you listen tomorrow for that. Millie says, "Oh, that was you. I thought my internet was breaking down. I was going, no, that was me. I apologise, guys. I'm not sure what happened there. There was a glitch in the matrix somewhere." The Rose target book is brilliant. Love all the extra Clive bits. Oh, Helen, I love the fact that you said that. Somebody mentioned the Rose book earlier. Yes, and those of you that don't know, the more modern target books, where they've taken some of the more modern Doctor Who stories and novelised them, are really good. But Rose is written by Russell T Davies, and he writes, as Helen said, writes a bunch of extra stuff around Clive. Now, those of you that have listened to the podcast over the years will know that Clive is one of my favourite characters from newer Doctor Who, and I've been trying to get like a spin-off show of his done for ages now. And the fact that Russell wrote a bunch of extra stuff for Clive is just brilliant. So yeah, that's a top recommendation. Pick up Rose, the target book by Russell T. Very, very cool. I love the more chit chat. Yes, how many Nymons did you see today, Gary? I think we all know the answer to that, don't we, Ad? All together now. 3. You meddlesome hussy. You must not blaspheme the Naimon. Oh, God. Those of you that have not seen the YouTube video, how many Naimons have you seen today? Do yourselves a favour. Go and watch it after the stream. Yeah. I remember the first time I came across that. I think I watched it like 30 times in a row. Very funny. Adam and Gary love Clive. Wanted him resurrected for years. That's right, John. We do. He's such a great character. And the thing about Clive, and this is really a testament to just how brilliant and beautiful Russell T Davies' writing is that even such a small on-screen time character like Clive, he's got such a wealth and depth of backstory, and just such a cool. Yeah, I can't tell you how awesome Clive is as a character. So yes, yeah, big thumbs up for Clive. Hi Gary, so I'm late to the live stream. Hope you and everyone here are keeping safe and healthy. How are you doing, Matt? Mr. Matt Steele, one of our reviewers. Yeah, we're all good, thanks, dude. We're just chewing the fat over what to do during the isolation in the dark times, as we've labelled it, or as I've labelled it, between Doctor Who not being on the TV anymore and the coronavirus, making us all isolate and social distance and stuff. So we're just basically, myself and all of the guys in the chat, we're just sort of throwing recommendations out for various things to watch and listen and read and stuff. So yeah, it's all good. Welcome, Matt. Welcome, everybody. I totally agree. Bring back Clive. Yeah, man. You've got it right there, Helen. Bring it back. You may have to advise me on how to set your YouTube live streams to look so damn good with how it's all laid out from one designer to another. Oh, thank you very much for that, dude. Yeah, just let me know what you need a hand with, or some recommendations, dude. I'll help you out. All good. You may have to advise me. Yeah, of course, man. No worries. You don't know how the cyber-converted Time Lords can regenerate in the Series 12 finale when dialogue between the 11th Doctor and the Cyber Planner in Nightmare in Silver. You know how the cyber-converted Time Lords can regenerate in the Series 12 finale when dialogue between the 11th Doctor and the Cyber Planner in Nightmare in Silver. I can't remember that dialogue, Patrick, in Nightmare in Silver. So just hit us up with a little refresh, dude. Let us know what the gist of that is. But yeah, I think I know what you mean. But yeah, let us know. Speaking of Clive, have you listened to Rose Tyler, the Dimension Canon? Clive is awesome in that. I have indeed listened to that, and he is awesome. I was so happy when Big Finish said that Clive was coming back. Not quite up to the level that I was hoping for. I was hoping for just a proper, full-on Clive Adventures Volume 1 and all that stuff, but it was still great to have him back in that series. It was very cool. I feel like during this time, a feel-good episode is great. Something like Partners in Crime. Also, what happened to the bacon angry sound effects? Haven't heard in ages on the pod. Yeah, we've not used it in a while. I think I might be able to do this. If you guys can hear this, then let me know. Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, that's our rant jingle on the podcast. And the burn the bacon thing, yes, that's just a that's a saying that we've used on the show for a while. When something annoys us, it's something's really burnt the bacon sort of thing. And the rant jingle, I've not had to reach for that for a while. I thought I was going to have to reach for it in Series 11 quite a few times. I think I did, but yeah, I've not really been Adam and I have not been in a big state of fury over something to do with Who for a while. So yes, not had to I hope that wasn't too loud either, guys. Yeah, because I haven't got my headphones on, so I can't monitor that. But yes, I feel like, yep, the Rose Tyler box set is part of my Big Finish backlog. Really looking forward to that one. Yeah, I think we've all got backlogs, Helen, for Big Finish. They put out so much cool stuff, quite a lot. So every time you mention character options, I get prepared to. Oh, don't get me started on character options, dude. Oh, the figures. I'm not going to play it again. The figures from character. Yes, that's. I'm not going to get started on that. Otherwise, I'm going to be here all night. Excuse me. The Daniels family from Southampton. I don't get the reference, Craig. But please, enlighten us. Are you going to watch Day of the Doctor at 7 on Saturday? I might do. I'm not going to have much else to do at 7 o'clock on Saturday, I don't think. So yeah, might do that. Is that like the anniversary of when it went out then? I'm assuming it is. That would be me with the Timeless Child. Oh, Matt, like, dude, when we get on this stream, dude, we'll thrash it out and we'll try and find like I completely respect your opinion and your outlook on the Timeless Child and all that stuff, obviously. But I think we might be able to come to some sort of middle ground. I think. Maybe not. We'll see. It's the scene where 11 said to the Cyber Planner he would regenerate to get the Cyber Planner out of his mind. I don't think that's the same thing, Patrick. It's the scene where Matt Smith, Doctor, says to the Cyber Planner he would regenerate to get the Cyber Planner out of his mind. Oh, right. So are you saying that Are you saying that the fact in the story, the fact that the dead Time Lords have been fused with the Cybermen, have been sort of converted into Cyber Lords, whatever? Are you saying that wouldn't have happened because naturally the Time Lords would have regenerated to kind of disperse the cyber conversion? Is that what you're saying? If so, there's probably like a story twist that gets around that. There's probably some kind of, because the Time Lords were effectively dead. It was just their bodies that were being converted. It's probably something along those lines. But I kind of get what you're saying. I just think there's a slight difference in how that story did that, stuff. That woke my cat up. Sorry, Millie. I feel so old. I know stuff from the old days. No, don't worry, Alex. Don't worry at all, man. It's good that you know that stuff. It's really cool that you've got a knowledge of all that classic Who stuff. Don't worry, man. Clive said the Ninth Doctor averted the Daniels family from boarding. Oh, of course, yeah, from the Titanic, which saved their lives. Yeah, of course, yeah. The Day of the Doctor tweet along has gotten some buzz on Twitter. Apparently, Stephen Moffat and Ingrid Oliver are getting on it. Well, let me just tell you, if Ingrid Oliver's going to be there, I'm going to be there. Wink, wink, if you know what I mean. Yes. Moving on quickly. Dan Peters, next Thursday, 26th of March, it's 15 years since Rose was broadcast. Okay, of course, yeah. Did some digging a few days ago for my first review on my laptop, and God, my voice. Well, that's what we said on the show the other day, Alex. You've been one of our long-time listeners and reviewers, so it's cool that we've kind of, I was going to say we've seen you grow up, but we've heard you grow up over the past, how many years have been podcasting now? 9, over the past nearly 7 years. So we've heard you, like young squeaky voice, grow up, with up into the young man that you are now. So it's cool. Day of the Doctor tweet along. Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, I'll get involved in that. That'd be cool. It is a bit high there, Zog. It is a bit high there, Zog. Yes, your voice. Sorry, John. Yes, what we're saying. Yeah, your voice is very high. Yeah, squeaky, high and squeaky. Dan Hickey, 15 years, mind blown. Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy to think that we've had 15 long years already of classic Who, of modern Doctor Who. It just feels like yesterday when I was walking out of HMV with my Chris Eccleston Series 1 DVD box set. Those were the days. Is Day of the Doctor on TV again, Alex? Yeah, I think some of the other guys in chat have said that on 7 p.m. on Saturday, there's going to be a Day of the Doctor watch / tweet along thing going on, I believe. Yeah, should be good. Right, so I'm going to wrap this stream up in a few mins, guys. What would your opinion be on whether Big Finish were to produce a Sarah Jane Adventures continuation series with Rani, Clyde, Luke, and K9? That would be awesome. That would be really good. Yeah, as long as they can get like the schedules sorted out for the people that were in the show. So I follow Rani. I actually follow the actress, I can't remember her name, who plays Rani, and the guy that plays Luke on Instagram. The actress that plays Rani and the guy that plays Clyde Langer. I follow those guys on Instagram, so I know that they're still obviously working, and Luke, the guy who plays Luke, working. But I don't think they're like mega super busy that they couldn't sort of align something to do that. I guess it would just be. It would just be a case of if the stories were strong enough without Sarah Jane. That's the thing. So, I mean, no doubt that. See you later, Matt. Yes, you and Liv, you take care of yourselves, dude. I'll see you on the next one. We'll get this live stream thing sorted out as well, so we'll sort that. But yeah, take care of yourselves, dude. Thanks for dropping by. Yeah, the thing is with that is I'm in no doubt that they've got really strong, good writers at Big Finish. That's all good. But the Sarah Jane Adventures, if they were going to do like a continuation with those guys, there would need to be some kind of anchor, some kind of strong central character to anchor everything. So it depends on if those guys are strong enough to do that individually with the others, or if they bring in someone else that could double, not a Sarah Jane because she's irreplaceable, but somebody that could be that anchor. So if they could work that out and do that, that'd be good. Oh, it's not on TV. It's just people getting their copies out and watching it at 7 p.m. Oh, sorry. Right. Okay. So they're not broadcasting it anywhere. It's just people doing their own watch along. Okay. Let's hope the new iPlayer tweaks for coronavirus gives us some free classic Who. It won't, John, I'm afraid. The licensing for classic Who is now tied up with BritBox. So we won't get that on iPlayer or Netflix or anything, I'm afraid. And Julie Mahindra, that's it, and Daniel Anthony, yes. Thank you, Joe. Matt Steele, maybe a meet up with Ace. Yeah, ooh. Matt could be on something there, dude. I see what you did there, Matt. And I like it. I like that a lot. Because Ace has been getting a lot of traction recently with the Series 26 box set that came out and the really cool trailer for her, the At Childhood's End book and all that stuff. And basically her character is still right now out there rocking and rolling. So that could work. Dude, that could work. Matt, you need to email Big Finish immediately. I'm not joking. I'm really not joking. Go onto the Big Finish website and find the contact email. Put that idea across. That'd be awesome. Give some love to the Drashigs. Adam, if you were here, if this wasn't a live stream, if we were having this conversation in the pub or something, I would have slapped you by now. Not joking. I would have slapped you by now. Right, I'm going to wrap this up in a second. I'm going to wrap this up. Dan Hickey, cheers everyone on here. Great suggestions, great chatting with you all. You're welcome, buddy. It's all good. I remember listening to 10th Doctor BF Adventures 3 weeks running on a Saturday at approximately the times that Tennant's always went out. It felt so, oh, that must be cool. Yeah, nice one. That would have been cool, yeah. Maybe I should get writing. Maybe you should, Matt. And I'm being completely serious as well. I know sometimes I come across as sarcastic or joking, but Matt, I'm telling you, get that on. Get cracking on that. Ace was meant to appear in SG. Yes, she was. Yes, in Series 2. Excuse me. John, yeah, take care of yourself, dude. Yeah, we'll see you again next week on, hopefully, on the next live stream. Take care, everybody. Love to the NHS, of course. Yeah, love to those guys. But yes, I am going to end the stream here. I think it's a good place to stop. We've gone through a ton of recommendations for Classic Who and watching and books and Big Finish and all that stuff. So hopefully you guys have got like a ton of stuff that you can now crack on with, plenty of books and everything. So yeah, it's been worthwhile chatting with you guys. It's been great to hang out with you all, as always. Love doing these live streams, and I will let you guys know what the subject is for next week. But otherwise, just to let you know, the episode 259 of the podcast drops tomorrow, where Adam and I go through just a tiny bit of news and merch, and then we review Series 12 as a whole. So that's going to be good. So I'll let you know about that. Cheers, Craig. Cheers, John. Cheers, Millie. See you later. Nice one, Beefy. Yes, Ryan. No worries, buddy. You try not to work too hard, Ryan. Don't get stressed out, mate. Really try and hang in there and do your best, mate. All respect to you for that. Nice one, Matt. See you soon. Get that idea into Big Finish. See you later, Alex. Nice one, Joe. See you later. Yes, so 259 drops tomorrow. So check that out. And yes, so my name is Gary, and I'm one of the co-hosts on the Big Blue Box podcast with my good friend Adam. Head over to the website, www.bigblueboxpodcast.co.uk. You can listen to all of our shows on there, plus read all of the awesome articles and reviews from our other writers. They put stuff out each week, which is great, so go and check that out. And remember, subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss the future live streams and whatever video content we're going to do on YouTube moving forward. It's been wonderful having you here as always. Thank you so much, guys. Take care of yourselves. Try and stay healthy. Stay safe. And I will see you all on the next one. See you later.